When a job change moved me to the Peel region about 7 years ago as a manager of volunteer services, and little did I know you were a baby then. I guess you were about 1 year old. I didn't know that. One of the first things I knew I had to do was to get in touch and to reach out to Volunteer Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon, VMBC. In my initial connection and my initial phone call, I was connected to Adrian Beaudry, who was at the time manager of volunteer engagement and programming, who agreed to meet with me. Adrian, and every time I say Adrian, please know that I know there's many more staff involved at VMBC, and I know Adrian is no longer here, but she was, to me, the person who represented VMBC and who was my initial contact. So Adrian agreed to meet with me, and she met me actually at a local coffee shop that was close to both of us, and she offered me generous amounts of time explaining about the services that VMBC could offer me as a manager of volunteer services. At the time, I explained to Adrian that although I had many years of professional volunteer experience, I had no formal education in volunteer management. Adrian suggested that I think about my education, furthering my education, and she mentioned different colleges. You have a nice face to talk to. I don't know your name, but I think you were on the board, but you have the nicest face to reach out and speak to. So Adrian mentioned different colleges that offered diplomas and certificates in volunteer management. She also mentioned a new diploma that Sheridan College was offering called Volunteer Sector and Nonprofit Management, which offered a strong volunteer management component. She thought that I should look into this diploma, as it would not only give me volunteer management training, it would also give me some good, steady nonprofit management training. Thanks to Adrian's advice, I ended up taking the diploma, which has proven to be very instrumental in my career. While taking this diploma, I got to know Shaminda much more closely. I knew him casually before. He is another staff person at VMBC that I have started to work very closely with. Shaminda was not only a great fellow student, by the way, he was an excellent student, always gave A+. He is also a good source of professional social capital. And I have come to call on him with many questions and requests over the years. I also took Adrian's advice and took many professional development workshops offered through your organization, including PREP, but it sounds like I need to get updated with the new program. These workshops not only strengthened my ability to manage volunteers, they provided me with opportunities to network, to meet other volunteer managers. Going back to my meeting with Adrian, she also suggested that I join other volunteer management support groups, such as PAVRO, and it was while at one of these meetings I met a colleague who led me to my present job at Community Living Mississauga.